It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Welcome back to Confidence in Bloom, the podcast where we explore what it really looks like to come home to yourself, trust your inner wisdom, and grow your intention. Today's episode is part of our theme, Determined, Not Distracted. And this conversation is such a powerful reminder that determination doesn't always look like pushing harder. Sometimes it looks like choosing yourself. I'm joined with Wendy Teducci, a life coach and soul protector for high-achieving women who carry a lot, do a lot, and often put themselves last. Wendy supports women who feel overwhelmed, burned out, and emotionally overloaded, and helps them move toward ease, clarity, and reclaimed inner peace. After the pivotal wake-up call in 2017, Wendy rebuilt her life around one unshakable truth. Connection is the antidote to overwhelm. Through her coaching, speaking, and the Peaceful Pages Collective, Wendy guides women back to themselves, helping them create boundaries, honor their needs, and feel safe living with more presence and peace. This conversation is an invitation to slow down, tune in, and redefine what it means to be truly determined without being distracted from who you are. Hi, Wendy. I'm so grateful that you're here. Welcome to Confidence in Bloom.
Thank you so much. I love the name Confidence in Bloom, but anyway, more about that.
Thank you. Yeah, me too, actually. That's how I fell asleep last night. I was thinking, gee, if I had to redo this, would I rename it something else? But I do like the Confidence in Bloom, right? Because all of us, we struggle, right? We struggle with confidence. And once we learn our way and how this is, we grow with it, we bloom into what we have to bloom into, right? Yeah. So you work with high achieving women who carry a lot, right? How do you see the line between healthy determination and running on empty? And how can women recognize when a challenge is actually trying to redirect them?
Ooh, okay. So 2 questions. So the first one, how do I say it again?
How do you see the line between healthy determination and and running on empty?
Oh, great. Okay. So how do I see the line between healthy determination and running on empty? Ooh, with my clientele, with my clients, I see running on empty all of the time. So I know how to spot that. And a lot of times it shows up as on the outside, they have it all together. Like it looks like, they have their stuff together. They're well put together. They're not, right? And on the inside, there are some things happening. They don't feel worthy. They're not sure of themselves. They're in burnout. Their nervous systems are shot, right? This is happening inside. And so they're saying, I got it. I'm okay. Oh yeah, I can do that. If you ever want to get anything done, give it to a busy person because they will get it done because they don't stop, which is not healthy. So that's what I see all day through, day in, day out, not 24/7, but you know what I mean? When I see a healthy ambition, I will put it to you this way, and I'm trying to think of a particular client to bring to mind. Yes. Her name's Jennifer. And when we first started working together, she was working all of the time. She tallied up how much extra time she gave her company one time that she didn't get reimbursed for, like 40 hours additional that she had to work to get things done. That's not okay. She knows that now. She's like, no, that is not okay. And right. So she's pivoting from that, which is exciting. And so she was burned out. She was exhausted, and yet she kept going with her work, with her kids, with her husband, with her parent, everything. She did not stop. And as a result, she got really sick, right? Really sick. She couldn't work for a while, right? But that caused her to slow down, reevaluate, rethink. I don't have to live like this any longer. I need to do something different. What am I going to do different? And then that's when she and I began to walk the path, and I'm shining that flashlight for her so she can see, hey, what's possible in front of you. Let's keep going. And she started taking care of herself. She started closing her computer, shutting the laptop at 5 p.m. I'm not doing any work. Sorry, I'm done. I've put in my 8 hours. That's it. If you want to pay me more, I might work more, but no, I'm done. Right? Because she was doing that, then she started going to the beauty salon. She's like, that's my happy place. I love going to the beauty salon. I get pampered. Great. Do more of that. She started going for walks like 4, 5 in the morning. And at first I was like, why? She's like, no, it's quiet. It's peaceful. I love starting my day like that. I'm like, well, then you do you.
Yeah.
I'm still in bed, but you do you, right? She was getting fresh air. She was getting exercise. She started working with a functional medicine doctor on some symptoms that she had been having. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm losing weight. I'm feeling better. I'm right. And this just, it just keeps going. So she's working, she's doing the thing, she's there for her family. And she's not exhausted. She's not overwhelmed. She checks in with herself. How am I feeling in this moment? Oh, okay, I'm good. Or, oh boy, I need to step away from this desk and get some air. I need to do something different, take a little break, come back, right? So that's the first scenario that you brought of that, what did you call it again, Tina?
Healthy determination and
Healthy
running on
determination.
empty. And I
Yeah,
love,
that's
I'm
healthy
just
determination.
comment. That is like a beautiful story, right? Like,
Yeah.
because we all can, resonate with the whole running on empty at some point, right? Like we're tired, but we still have shit to do, right? Our
Yeah.
kids will always need us when they're in that growing
Always.
age, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that she can like go to the beauty salon now, not because, oh my God, my roots are coming in, like I have to look for work, but more about I feel good when I go in there.
Feel good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's a totally different wording, right? That's completely different language, and it sits differently in your heart. Yeah. So now tell me, how does the common woman like recognize that this challenge is actually maybe trying to redirect them, right? Because it's not always about getting sick. We don't always get sick.
It's not always, and please don't wait until you get sick. Good heavens. But the fact of the matter is that's almost always the first thing that happens that causes a woman to go, ooh, oh, okay, yeah, fine, I'll slow down, kind of thing. But what you're asking, Tina, is what does the average woman notice?
Yeah, like how do they notice that
Great.
there's a challenge that they're being faced with, but it's also like a pivot point?
That's a great. I can share my story if that's helpful to
Yes,
you.
please. Yes, absolutely.
I've had many pivot points. I guess the big one for me, okay, it's health related. I wasn't hospitalized. However, I was experiencing, let me back up. 10 years ago, let's say 10 years ago, I was, head down, working so hard and don't bother me. I don't have time I just got to get this done. I got to get this done. I got to get like pushing, pushing, pushing. And about that time, my mom ended up in an independent living, did not see that coming, was not prepared. Who is? And so it was a stressful time. And yet I kept going, I kept going, I kept going, I kept pushing. Well, I started having some weird symptoms. Like this side of my face was numb. That's not good. My lips were numb. This hand in particular was numb. My feet were numb. My legs were numb. And I'm going, okay, all right. And it took me like 6 months
Oh,
to get myself
good.
to call the doctor. I know. Because I was like, no, I have to do this. I have to have that nonsense. Finally got into the doctor and he's like, well, that's interesting. And he thought I had MS, right? He's like, I don't know if this is what it is, but we're gonna check this. We're gonna see. Did the MRI, did a spinal tap, did all the things, right? And it's not MS. It's my nervous system was shot. My adrenals were almost shot. That is no joke. You don't want to be in that. I
No.
was tired all the time. I was not focused. I was snapping at everybody. Like it was not good at all. So that was my, huh, okay, I can't keep doing this. That was my wake up call.
Wow. Wow. And so did that require like surgery, or was it more like, I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to take some time off for myself and my family, and then I'm
Yeah.
going to decide what to do?
No. So
None of the above.
I have been self-employed since 2015. And so I'm self-employed at this time, right? Still, as I am now. I can't take time off. This is like you, as being self-employed, you have to work harder than the person that has the 9 to 5 secure job and paycheck. I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
Right. Because you're not working,
So
you're not bringing in money. Yeah.
exactly. So I can't not work. I can't take time off. My mom needs me. I'm an only child. It begins and ends with me. Hello.
Ah,
No, I couldn't do, and I didn't do any of those things. I don't want to say couldn't, because I could have, right? We all get choices, and I could have chosen to do those. It was not my choice, my choice. What I chose to do was listen to my inner voice. Listen to my inner voice that kept saying to me, Wendy, you remember how you thought to yourself, oh, it's so nice how mom gets to sit in her recliner and put her feet up at the end of the day. Wouldn't it be nice to do that? Like I wasn't even giving myself a time to rest. And so I listened to my inner voice and I went, you know what? That does sound really good. I'm gonna give myself that, right? The doctor says I'm really stressed out and I need to I need to get back into nature. I need to exercise. I need to, you know what? I'm gonna step outside or I'm gonna go for a walk. Huh. I'm not sleeping well. I'm not focused. I'm a mess. What is going on? Oh, by the way, I'm in perimenopause. Huh. Actually, I didn't know I
oh,
was. So I had that stuff happening and I didn't know what it was. And so I just started opening up and talking to my friends, which is very different from what I had been doing. Before, I would just hide it. Hide it, hide it, hide it. I can't let them see I'm weak.
why we do this, I don't never know. Yeah.
Right? And I was just like, oh, it was so uncomfortable for me at that time that I started opening up. And that's when I started getting, well, Wendy, have you considered calling this doctor? Wendy, have you considered talking to my doctor? Because she knows a lot about perimet, right? And when I did that, when I took the next step and did the next thing, it led me to the next thing. And you see where I'm going with this, right? And I found out that my adrenals were shot. And I found out how to build those back up. It took years, by the way, so don't be like me. It took a supplement. It took me to eat differently. It took me caring for myself
Yeah, I
to
was going to say
reset
it's,
those.
yeah, like self-care, right? That's not going to the beauty salon and having your feet painted and,
I mean, it
you know,
can be.
I mean, it can be. That's the good side of the self-care,
Yeah.
right? But self-care includes healthy eating, right? It includes getting out in nature, getting exercise, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's the stuff you don't
Yep.
want to do, right? I hate
Sometimes it's
exercise.
just, yeah. It's, yeah, I don't enjoy it, right?
Yeah, but
I don't
it's
enjoy
also
it, but
something we have to do.
yeah, it's self-care is giving yourself a nap,
Yeah.
right? I'm
Yeah. And
tired.
sometimes it's not giving yourself a nap, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, so this is what
Let's
I
talk about
learned.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're going
yeah.
to go back. We're going to come back because I want
Oh,
to know
okay.
more about you. But I was told at one point that I
Yeah.
was starting to burn out and that my body
Oh.
needed rest. And that was the
Mm.
message I was getting. So I love nap. I love sleep, right? I was one of those teenagers that could sleep till 2, right?
Oh, me
I
too,
mean,
when I was a
yeah,
teenager.
as a teenager. I can't do that now.
Right,
But
right.
I was like, oh, I'm allowed now to get rest. Right?
Oh,
I literally slept
right. Same.
like I could get up, I would get my kids off to school, maybe have breakfast, but I would nap. Then I would get up and have a shower and,
Hmm.
putz around the house, do the bare minimum of housework, have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
nap, and then pick up my kids from school. Right? That
Okay.
and then often I would drop them off at
Ah,
practice, sit in
I
the
see what you're
car and
saying.
nap again.
Okay,
So I was napping all the time to
great,
the point
great.
where the work, like the physical part of being awake in the day was very minimum, right? And
Gotcha.
because of the perimenopause, I could sleep. Like I never had those nights where, well, I slept all day, I can't sleep now, right?
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah, and I know that that's not common because most women are like, oh, I can't sleep at all, right? So we can sleep. It took a lot of work for me to not take that nap sometimes, just so that I
Sure.
could get myself on a better system. So that's
Yeah.
part of the
Yep.
self-care that we all need
Yeah.
to recognize. What do we really need and what do we really want? Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Ooh, I love
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's almost like in your case, if I were in your shoes and I found myself napping all the time, I would just be curious about that. No judgment, just wonder what that's
yeah.
about.
Yeah, well, and then it also kind of tied in with depression. The doctor put
Yeah,
me on
right.
antidepressants. And so I don't know,
Yeah.
like for those listeners that have been put on antidepressants, they know it kind of gets worse before it starts to get better. And so
Oh,
I went with
okay.
that. And unfortunately, it went on too long, but before I caught it. Right. So,
Well, but you caught it. So
but I
that's
caught it.
that's the win.
It took a while, but I caught it.
Yeah, yeah. Go you. That's all that
Yeah.
matters is you caught it.
Well, exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So now in this process, like you learned, you're not just healing your adrenals, right? There was other
Mm.
things with perimenopause. We all know, us women, unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff here in North America that goes on that women are talking about. Thank goodness, right? Like, thank God everyone's opening up. But there's a lot of stuff that we don't even consider as a perimenopause symptom that like
Mm.
coincides with everything else, like the adrenals. Like, who thinks of that? I have a cousin actually who had issues with it, but she had to have surgery. So I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know really too much about them.
thank
I don't know how
God.
they
Okay,
work.
surgery.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Right. But in all that, like you had to learn how to get your health back.
Mm.
Right.
Hmm.
And is that how you ended up doing the work that you're doing?
Yeah, I would say that's how I ended up here today. I had to, so I had to do a lot of not only like, okay, Wendy, you really need to take better care of yourself. I desire to take better care of myself, right? I had to do some deep internal work. A lot of deep internal work, like the heavy, icky, oh my God, this is uncomfortable and I hate it and I don't want to go through this kind of crap. Not crap. It was very useful.
It's
I'm
crap.
so
It's crap, but it's very, very
I'm,
healing. I get it.
I'm
I'm doing
so
that right
glad.
now.
I'm so glad that I went through it. And at my lowest point, I started working with a coach. She did not have to wrestle me to the ground to sign up with her. I was just like, I was just admitting defeat. I'm like, I just can't. I just can't, you know? And so that's when she and I really started diving into my beliefs, my thoughts, my experience, my self-talk, like all of it. man, that was a lot of work. And that's what got me to where I am today. I think when we started working together, I was already a coach. I was coaching at that point. But I was so burned out and so out of my element and so sick that I wasn't able to help anybody else. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm not meant to be a coach. I'm not meant to do this. I'm not helpful. Well, geez, I you gotta work on yourself first before you can help anybody else. And that's what I did. And now I'm an even better and stronger coach. And I don't say that, to be sarcastic or boastful. It's just this is my reality. This is what I've created.
Yeah.
And I keep learning and I keep growing and I keep just up leveling. And so that's who I did that's what I did for myself. That's what I also do for my clients is I help them
Yeah.
to come back home to themselves and start
Right.
up leveling. What is it
I
that you
love it.
want?
Yeah, I love it. And one thing I've learned, your
Yeah.
clients will only go as deep as you go. Right.
Yeah.
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 So if you're not willing to go there, you're not going to
Mm.
attract the clients that are willing to go there. And that's the unfortunate
Mhm.
part because
Mhm.
we all, I think it was said once that every child needs therapy. Anyone who's ever been a child, right, will need therapy at one point in their life because
Yeah.
we're all here experiencing something different at the same
Yeah.
time, right? And so
Right.
we're all gonna feel like it's all gonna feel different in our body, no matter what the experience is, right? And so, and I'm
Right.
sure you don't. Okay, so you don't have any siblings. How many children do you have?
0.
You don't have, you don't have kids, so you have no one to look after you when you're older. But I know, like my brother and I mean, we came from the same parenting. We were parented the same, for the most part. I mean, my brother was the boy, so he didn't have to do a lot of the stuff the girl, like I had to do, right? But
Oh,
we
no.
were loved the same. Like I would never say that my parents loved either one of us more or different. Like we were loved the same. We were treated the same. And yet the things that he notices about my parents and complains about as we were children,
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I was like, that's the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Oh, isn't
Right?
that interesting?
Right. And so
Different perspectives.
different perspectives because of the experience that we're having at the moment.
100%.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And so as a coach, and you know this because you're living it now, you're teaching this to your clients, right? Like it's your experience and your experience only that you have to talk about and deal with.
Yes, and it's not about me.
No,
Right?
and I meant that like your
Yeah.
client, right? Like what you're teaching your client is what your client is going through. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
I love it. I love the whole, especially self-care, like teaching women how to like really look after themselves. Like we have no idea. And I say we because I walked into it not knowing.
Really?
Yeah. Like what's self-care? What's self-love? Right? I didn't know.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Yes. I was there too. Like, what do you mean? I don't need self-care. I'm tough. I've got this. Oh gosh.
Right. Like you had said at the beginning, like when we were talking about, you had said that they have it all together, right? You see women all the time.
Oh
who have it
yeah.
all
See them all the
together.
time.
Yeah. When we look at a woman, I want to be like her. She has it all together. But what we don't see is what's going on inside of her. Right.
Yeah.
And that is, so I think this is how I sort of defined self-care was I know how to put an outfit on. I know how to put an outfit together.
Right,
when I leave the house, if I can look like I have it all together, I must.
I was in that space too. Okay, I look good.
That's what matters.
I'm okay.
Right? Yeah. And I feel good in my clothes. I mean, I love clothes. So I don't buy clothes that don't feel good on me. Right. And one day I had a good friend of mine that said to me, you always have it together. And I'm over here, I'm hiding and I'm telling myself that I don't have it together. And I was like, wait a minute. I tell myself stuff like that all the time. right? But when I put the outfit on, I can put
Mm-hmm.
it aside. That's what made me realize that maybe
Yeah.
I don't know what self-love and self-care is.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge. Because you can put it aside. You can put it aside all day long, but guess what? That shit comes
Eventually
back.
it's going to, exactly, exactly. And that's when, that's when we're, forced to, it's going to slap us in the face at some point, right?
Uh-huh.
And most of the time, like you said, it's when we get sick, right?
Yeah,
That's when we go, yeah,
whatever it is will show up at the most inconvenient of times and cause you to go, okay, I guess I have to deal with this, right? Because you make a choice. Or no, I'm not ready to deal with it. Whatever is perfectly acceptable. You just have to know your choice in the moment. Not right or wrong, but if you're ready to deal with it, great. That's beautiful. Let's
and you
do it.
might make mistakes, right? Like you might
Oh,
not
you're
handle it
100% going to make mistakes.
yeah, but you're dealing with it, and that's all that matters, right?
That is all that matters. And yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes all the time. But here's the thing. It's not, oh man, I made a mistake. I'm, whatever, and you spiral. It's, oh, okay, I made a mistake. Let's look at it. What went well? What didn't go so well? What might I do differently next time? No
Right.
blame, no shame, just noticing. Done.
Yeah. And so it's a matter of reframing, right? It's
Yeah.
a matter of reframing what the challenge is, right? And look at it as, how is it fueling me, right? Rather than
Mm.
looking at it as this is another failure, right? Like
Yeah.
use the challenge as a
Yep.
fuel to move forward, fast or slow,
Yes.
there's no race,
There's
right?
no race.
But as soon as we look at it and we label it, if this was a failure, right? We then that's when we allow the blocks to come in.
Oh yeah, and you allow the gremlins to come in and your itty bitty shitty committee, right?
Right?
To come in
Right.
and have a party. No. No, no, no.
No,
Got no time
no.
for that.
Yeah. And exactly. And the thing is you're only going to get beaten down more, right? If we
Yeah.
allow that. Yeah. So when life is throwing us and there's always that one person that can tell us that it's just there's curveball after curveball
Oh,
after
100%.
curveball, right? And
Yeah.
it's so easy to get distracted by that itty bitty shitty committee, the
Mm-hmm.
fear, the doubt, the lack of confidence.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
like sort of recommend to your clients for practice, right? Like how do you
Mm.
keep them grounded, or how do you allow them to keep
Mm.
themselves grounded, and
Mm.
determined instead of always reacting?
Oh, I love that question. So, Tina, like you said, there's going to be curveballs all the time. It's just the constant in life, right? Everything's always changing. Therefore, there's going to be some stuff coming into your life that you did not expect, or maybe you did expect, right? Curveballs. And the thing is, when you are in, when your nervous system is jacked up, let's just say that, when you're in fight, flight, and freeze, your nervous system is on full alert and you're in reactionary mode, right? The littlest thing just, disrupts your whole entire day because you're reacting. Your nervous system is on full tilt, right? So notice that. What came up for me today? What curveballs came at me? Boy, I didn't see this coming. Again, noticing, whew, how did that make me feel? Whew, notice the feeling. Where might that be coming from, right? And just kind of getting into it. Like, yeah, all right, this is not, doesn't feel good, but you know what? I'm curious. I want to find out what this is all about. It could be, I need to journal. I need to get this out. I need to talk to a friend. I need, whatever it is, right? To get you through that. I need to work with a coach. I need to work with a therapist, whoever, whatever. And so when you get your nervous system regulated, when you're calm, when you're in ease and flow, stuff is still going to come at you. You're still going to have curveballs. You're still going to have these unpleasant surprises at the worst possible time, right? But instead of reacting, you can just be like, oh, here it is. Okay. And from that place, you can make a calm decision or choice. Well, here it is. How do I choose to respond? You're going from reacting to, okay. I choose to respond to this by noticing it's here. I see it. And now is not the right time for me to deal with this. I'm just going to put it aside. And I know when I'm going to pick it back up, or I need to call somebody and talk through this, or I need to just let it sit for a while. And then we'll revisit it. But do you see the difference between fight, flight, and freeze and I'm in my intuition. I'm in my intuitiveness. I'm in my calm. And from that place, you're making better decisions. You're not reacting and making snap decisions that usually aren't great, right? And you're working for your highest and best self.
Yeah. And you know what I often will catch myself doing, and I've just learned
What's
this,
that?
is
Ooh.
looking, you know what, have you ever heard that saying, I want to be a fly on the wall?
Yeah, I have. I've heard
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
I use that all the time, right?
Do you really?
Because, and it's mostly because, oh, I would love to be a fly on the wall when he's in the room, right? Because there's
Really?
always that someone who's either like super smart that you want to learn everything from,
Oh, I
or
get it.
that
Okay.
is just super dumb, that says the stupidest things, right? But I want to be there when those conversations are happening. So what I've done with myself is I put myself, you know, when I'm in a situation and I don't know how to make a decision, right? Or I don't know what to do. I take myself out of the first person, right? And I put myself either in third or second so that I can make a decision based on what, well, I think it makes me make a more level-headed decision, right? When I look at myself as someone else, right? Then I just, you know, what did I do in that situation that I don't want to carry into that situation, right?
Ooh,
like
that's
now,
powerful.
this is right. This is something I'm learning about myself now, right? Had I known that from like in high school, do you remember in high school when we learned first, second, third? It went right over my head, right? Now, I mean, we watch how much TV, we all watch a lot of TV, right? That's kind of what I do, is I try to put myself in a movie in front of me so that I can look at myself, right? I can look at myself as a non-judgmental person, right? I'm just here to observe. Right.
Yep.
Now, it's not always easy. I'll be honest. I mean, you know, we do have some ownership to unnecessary things, right? That, you know, that sometimes I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to do it that way, but I'm learning that I can do that. Right. And that has helped me move forward in many ways. Yeah. That's what came up
right
to me.
there.
You were telling, yeah.
That right there. Just learning that I can do things different ways.
Yeah.
That's next level. That's powerful.
Right. Right. And I mean, we can all learn that.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. I love this. So I love these conversations about, you know, self-care, self-love, self-coaching, right? Because we all have something to learn.
Oh,
right?
gosh, yes.
It doesn't matter who we are. There's nobody on the earth that knows everything. There's a lot that think they know everything.
They know.
But there's nobody that really knows everything. Right.
Oh my gosh, you got that. God, yes. You know, at 52 years old, I thought when I got to this point, I'd have everything figured out. No.
That's a giggle of self, right? Like we don't. And
I don't
you know,
it. Oh.
these young, like, so my daughter's 24 and often she'll say things like that. Well, when I'm your age, well, no, because when you're my age, you're going to be struggling, not with the same struggles that you're having today, but
It'll be
we
different.
always must be struggling. That's just human nature, right?
Yeah,
You know,
that's the
like
human
it's a different
experience.
struggle. Yeah, yeah. It's just what we're here to do, right? And it's how
Yeah,
we handle the struggle that helps us get through
that's
it.
it. It's
Yeah.
how you handle it, and you do it the best that you can, right?
Yeah.
What did I think it was Oprah? No, Maya Angelou. One of the two. I don't remember which one it was. When we know better, we do better, right?
Yes.
Something like that. And
Yeah.
isn't that
Yeah.
the truth?
Absolutely. And the thing is, you know, my grandma used to always say, the older we get, the wiser we get. Right. And
Yeah,
so
I
you
feel that.
have to live life in order for you to be able to look back and go,
Yes.
if I would have done that differently, right? Because
Oh,
we don't know. Right. And
true.
that brings me to ask you, so self-trust, and this is something that I'm learning on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
own, right? I have
Mhm.
like learned in the last year that I don't have a lot of self-trust for myself, like self-trust.
Okay.
And it's got me wondering,
Yeah.
like, does everyone struggle with this? Right? Like, is it something that we all struggle with trusting ourselves?
I
Right? Because I
mean,
feel like,
yeah,
you know, when we're navigating any kind of uncertainty or rebuilding after something tough, like what you went through, right?
mhm.
Like, what part
Mm.
does the trust play? I want to know what you think. I have my own ideas too.
Ooh, I love you. My, Tina, you asked such great questions.
Oh,
I
good. Thank
love
you.
this. So, inner trust. Yeah, I don't know if everybody's being honest with themselves, yeah, I would say everybody, struggles with at one time or another, some way, shape, or form. Oh, I struggled with that, and I still do to some extent, most of my life, right? I just second guessing myself, and is this right and is that right, and I want to do this the right way, and I'm worried about how people are going to see me and notice me, and what are they going to say about me, and oh my gosh, no, it doesn't matter. It does not matter what anybody else thinks of me. It's none of my business. That's a Michael J. Fox quote. If you've ever read any of his books, and if you haven't, read it. And when I read that line, it's what what people think of me is none of my business. I was like, oh, but oh, oh. And now I'm like, yeah, none of
It's
your business.
true.
It's right.
Yeah.
Um, and so I still struggle with that. And also, my clients do too. And it's a lot of reasons, right? But it's going back to noticing it. Ooh, I noticed that you seem to be kind of really wrestling with this. What's that about? What's going on? Right. And then I just let them talk, just let them go. They almost always like talk themselves through it and go, oh,
It's not
that's why.
important. Yeah.
That's
And
why.
it's also, yeah. And if you notice, like when we do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
it's always because of external sources, right? Like it's not about why don't we, like,
Yeah.
why can't, so if a friend of yours comes to you and says,
Mm,
you know, I'm struggling with this, I really don't know
mm,
how to handle this, right?
mm, mhm.
We're quick to say, oh, you should do this or you should do that, right? But when we're having the same struggle, that
Mhm.
advice doesn't work for us, right? So
Yeah.
why can't we take the
Yeah.
advice that we give to others and,
Okay.
you know, keep it for ourselves? Now, and that's where that human experience comes in, right?
Mhm.
How do I know
Mhm.
what's going to work for
Mhm.
you?
Mhm.
Right? Like I have a
Right.
girlfriend who struggles with her stepdaughter.
Yeah.
And like I get it. Like I know I don't have the same
Mhm.
scenario, so I can't
Mhm.
compare
Mhm.
my, you know, what I would do. And of course, the way I was brought up, my culture and her culture are very different. And so
Oh, okay. Yeah.
for me to give her like advice, oh, you have to do this,
Yeah.
would never work. Right.
Sure.
So I have
Right.
found myself where I listen to her more because I think
Mhm.
and I feel
Mhm.
this is about even myself, and I think most
Mhm.
humans, We have the answer. We have the answer inside of us.
Absolutely. Yes.
We just don't trust it, right? And so that's when we have to look at it and go, okay, I'll talk it out, right? I'll come up with something, right? And I have to at least try it. If it works, it works. And if it doesn't, I have to try something else. But I have to trust that my instinct is going to get me where I need to go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you hit the nail on the head. Like, we all have this, right? And it's just talk it out. What's coming up from this? And then, I have the answers. We all have that, right? And I feel like it's my honor and it's my pleasure and it's just my mission in life to help women find that within themselves. Like, oh, okay, yes, I have that in me. I know that gut feeling. I know that, that's my intuition. This is where it's leading me. And I'm going to trust that. And then if it doesn't go well, or if it does go well, oh, okay. All right. What went well? What didn't go well? What might I do differently next time? What did I learn from this? What is this here to teach me? Ooh, that was a tough one. Right. And then just, okay, that's now I understand.
And just knowing that you have the answer, right?
You totally have the answer.
Yeah. I often ask my clients, right? When they say, I'll ask them something and, well, I don't know. So I'll say, well, if you did know, what would it be?
Right.
Yeah. Right. Because we have that answer. If we just have to sit, right? And that's one skill that coaches, have learned, that you need to allow your client that time, right? You don't just ask a question and expect the answer like within a second. We have to sit and really go inside and think about space. What the answer really is, right? Because your intuition knows, and I mean, we could have a call on intuition alone, because I was not trained to listen to my body, right? Like, no one ever said to me, Tina, your body will know, right? Or listen to your intuition. Like, if those words never came up, and if I would have said to my mom, like, how do I know if it's in me? She would have been like, what are you talking about? Like,
right. Oh my gosh, mine too.
Yeah. Like, it just wasn't something that, it was talked about, but yet everybody knows what an intuition is.
Yeah.
Right?
They might call it something different.
Yeah. But we all
voice, little whatever.
Right. And so, and maybe this is, part of, something, like I said, we can have a full conversation on this, because 100%. There's a lot of learning when it comes to the intuition, right? It's not 100%. Just the itty bitty shitty committee. There's a lot more to the inside of our bodies than we think, right? Oh yeah. So, yeah. I mean, there's I have so many more questions. I want like self-trust is big, right? Self-care is big. Another one that's really big, and I hear a lot about, is boundaries, right? Protecting energy, protecting peace. Like, I mean, I'm sure your clients, when they come to you and they're like, I have this to do, but I know I need to look after myself, right? If looking after myself, I can't do for my family what I want to do. How do you deal with those challenges? Like, how do you explain to your clients, you need to set boundaries, right? And where do you start? Where do you start setting?
That is great. So I don't say to my clients, you need to set a boundary. I don't say that. I will, first of all, give them that space they need to just let it out. Just let her rip, right? And when they're done, I will go back and say, I noticed you said this, right? Something like, my husband keeps telling me I need to do this, and this. And I really, I don't desire to. I don't feel like I need to. I feel like the kids could do this. I feel like he could, right? That kind of thing. I noticed you said that. Tell me more, tell me more about that. And so we'll get into a conversation and I'll say, what part of this is serving you? I might say something like that. We'll see, whatever the conversation goes to. And they'll be like, huh, not a damn thing of that is serving me. Not a damn thing of that is going to help me. Not a, right? And they just let it go. I'm like, okay, great. And then I might say, well, what do you think you might want to do about that? And I just let them drive, and sometimes they'll say, well, I'm not going to do that anymore, or I'm going to have a talk with my husband, or I'm going to, whatever it is. Because again, they have the answers. They have the answers inside of them. It's just my job and your job
to bring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So you, do you teach your clients, or I don't know if teach is the right word, but you journal with them, or you help them to journal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we all know that journaling kind of helps women process emotions, right?
Yeah.
It kind of makes and we all know that it's good to let the emotions come out, but we're also all very good at pushing them down, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're very good at not dealing with them. How do you explain that, reflection can sort of help turn a difficult experience into something insightful and, create a forward momentum?
Yeah. Oh boy, that's a great question. Whew. Well, so negative experiences, I always like to say this. Um, you know, an experience is an experience. And you don't have to label it. You don't have to put a judgment on it. It can just be, right? If you want to, it's negative, great. If it's positive, wonderful, whatever. What did you learn from it, right? And so, in the Peaceful Pages Collective, that's the group that I have. It's not coaching, it's just a sanctuary for women to walk into virtually and their shoulders drop. They don't have to be, they are not expected anything of them. They do have to be. Just be. That's it, right? But nothing is expected. And so with journaling, I might give a prompt like, what was a time in your life when you set a boundary and it wasn't respected? Right? So they'll journal that out. What was a time that you set a boundary and it was uncomfortable? Journal about that. What did it feel like when you got comfortable setting boundaries? Journal about that. And so that kind of brings their experiences up, allows them to kind of examine them, and grow from that. Where was I going with this? There was something else. Oh, a couple of my members in Peaceful Pages hate journaling. They just hate it with a passion. And so I tell them, that's cool. You don't have to journal. You can just sit there. You can meditate. You can, just be, you can doodle. You can paint. Whatever you want to do that, right? Whatever your intuition, whatever that little voice is saying, do that, right? If it's to pour your heart out on the page, great. If it's to paint, great. If it's to take a black crayon and just all over the page, great, do that. But above all means, above everything else, get whatever it is out of your head and out of your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it comes down to, right? Allow the feelings to feel, right?
Yeah.
How do they say? I think that's how they say it. Feel the feels. Yeah.
Feel those feelings. Oh, it might be uncomfortable. It probably will be. But here's the thing. You got to go through the uncomfortable stuff to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
I say this from experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, many of us in our age group can say that, right? Nothing comes easy, right? There's a struggle with so much, right? Yeah. So, Wendy, for the women that are listening and currently in the middle of some kind of a challenge or setback, probably exhausted, questioning herself, but yet still determined to move forward, what would you want her to know about being determined, not distracted, might be preparing for her?
Oh my gosh. Being determined and not distracted. Whew. Being determined in your element, in your energy, in your self-care, knowing who you are, knowing what you want, knowing what you desire, and then just letting it be easy. Just let it be easy. As opposed to, the burnout, the anxiety, the stress. Oh, if you're feeling like whatever's coming up for you from this episode, notice it, send it love and light, and then ask yourself, what do I want to do with this? And just take that next step.
I love that. I love that. So your work is great. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's also like a reminder that peace isn't passive, right? It's powerful and intentional and a choice you get to make. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like, this was awesome. I mean, obviously it's a bit of a passion of mine. So going into the whole itty bitty shitty committee and, all the effects of it is, I love it. I love the conversations around it. So thank you so much. I know that,
thank you.
We will have your contact information in the show notes. So, listeners, please reach out to Wendy when you can. If this episode resonated with you, I invite you to continue the conversation inside the Bloom Room, a private space where women reflect deeper, share honestly, and support one another as they reconnect with themselves and step into their next chapter. If you're listening and feel called to go deeper, whether that's working through a season of change, rebuilding your confidence, or learning how to live with more clarity and self-trust, you're also invited to explore coaching with me. You don't have to do this alone. And finally, if you've ever felt the nudge to share your story or your voice on this podcast, consider this you're an invitation to join me here on Confidence in Bloom. This space is for women who are determined to grow without being distracted from who they truly are. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for choosing yourself. And we'll talk next time on Confidence in Bloom.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.